Hold up. Apple's iPhone 18 might change everything we know about smartphones. What if I told you that in 2026, Apple would not just release one iPhone, but will launch their first ever foldable device alongside it? And here is the crazy part. The regular iPhone 18 might actually be the biggest upgrade we've seen in years, despite what some experts are saying. Today we are breaking down all the latest leaks about the iPhone 18's price, battery life, and design changes, and why this could be Apple's most important launch since the original iPhone. I have been following these rumors for months, and what I discovered will surprise you. So grab your coffee, hit that like button, and let's dive into everything you need to know about the iPhone 18. Let's start with the release schedule because Apple is doing something completely different this time. In September 2026, we're getting the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max, but here's where it gets interesting. Apple is also launching their second generation iPhone, whatever that means, and their first foldable iPhone at the same time. Then in spring 2027, we will see the regular iPhone 18 and the iPhone 18e hit the market. This two-part launch strategy is totally new for Apple, and it tells us they are planning something big. The Pro models will keep the same 6.3-inch and 6.9-inch screen sizes we are used to, so no surprises there. Now, Mark Herman from Bloomberg said these models might feel disappointing, like the old S versions that were just minor updates. But do not let that fool you, because there are some major changes coming that will make a real difference. First, let's talk about that dynamic island everyone loves or hates. There were rumors about Apple moving to a hole punch design in the top left corner, but that turned out to be a translation error from Chinese sources. What is actually happening is much cooler. The dynamic island is getting smaller. Apple is moving the Face ID infrared sensor underneath the screen, which means less space is needed up top. This is the kind of engineering that shows Apple is still pushing boundaries, even if it seems like a small change. Now let's get to the cameras, because this is where things get really exciting. The main camera is staying at 48 megapixels, but it is getting variable aperture technology. Think of aperture like the pupil of your eye. It opens wider in dark conditions and closes down in bright light. Right now, iPhones have a fixed aperture, so the camera sensor opens the same amount every time you take a photo. With variable aperture, your iPhone will automatically adjust based on lighting conditions. In low light, it opens wide to let in more light for clearer photos. In bright conditions, it closes down to give you sharper, more detailed shots. This is the same technology you find in professional cameras, and it is going to make iPhone photography so much better. You will get smoother backgrounds, better depth of field, and way more control over how your photos look. The telephoto lens is also getting an upgrade. The iPhone 17 Pro has an f/2.8 aperture, but the iPhone 18 Pro is expected to go even wider. A wider aperture means better low-light performance, less noise in your photos, and faster shutter speeds. If you take a lot of zoom photos or portraits, this upgrade alone might be worth the switch. Even the front camera is getting better, jumping from 18 megapixels to 24 megapixels. That means sharper selfies, better video calls, and more accurate portrait mode effects. Apple is clearly focusing on making the iPhone 18 a photography powerhouse. Performance-wise, we are looking at the new A20 and A20 Pro chips built on a 2nm process. Smaller chips mean more transistors packed into the same space, which translates to better performance and energy efficiency. But here is the really exciting part, the battery life improvements. Apple is targeting nearly 40 hours of use with batteries that could reach 5,100 to 5,200 milliamps capacity. To put that in perspective, that's almost twice the battery life of current iPhones. Yes, the phone might get slightly thicker, but honestly, most people won't even notice. The bigger change is in the modem. Apple is switching to their C2 modem from the current C1X. Better energy efficiency means your battery lasts longer, but there is something even more interesting. The new modem will support 5G satellite connectivity for regular internet browsing, not just emergencies. Imagine being able to check your email or browse social media even when you're completely off the grid. You won't need to hold your phone up to the sky or point it in specific directions. The connection will just work. Apple is also upgrading to the N2 chip, which handles Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and other wireless connections. Everything will be faster, more reliable, and use less battery power. As for colors, Apple is testing burgundy, brown, and purple options. That purple actually looks more like a dark red, which could be gorgeous. Given how popular the orange iPhone was, especially in China, where it made up 30% of sales, Apple wants another eye-catching color that stands out. The regular iPhone 18 will get some of these pro features, including the smaller dynamic island and battery improvements. The screen is expected to be even brighter than the iPhone 17, possibly reaching 2,000 nits indoors and 3,000 nits in direct sunlight. I am not sure we really need screens that bright, but it will make outdoor visibility incredible. Now let's talk about pricing, because this is where the good news comes in. Apple is working hard to keep current prices stable, starting around $999 for the base model and $1,199 for the Pro. They are negotiating with suppliers to control costs, especially for RAM and storage components. The RAM prices have been going up significantly, so Apple is cutting costs in other areas to maintain their profit margins. This means fewer experimental features, but it also means the iPhone 18 won't break the bank. Here is where things get really interesting: Apple's first foldable iPhone. This device will have two screens, one external for quick tasks when folded and a larger internal screen that opens like a book. Think of it as a mini iPad that fits in your pocket and runs iOS. Battery life is expected to be amazing, possibly the best of any mobile device on the market. The challenge will be app compatibility, but iOS 27 is being designed specifically to handle foldable interfaces. Many apps will need updates to work properly on the dual-screen setup, but Apple usually handles these transitions well. They are also considering other foldable designs, but the book-style fold will be the first to market. Looking at the bigger picture, Apple seems to be playing it safe with the iPhone 18 while going all out on the foldable. The main improvements will be the A20 chip architecture, better energy efficiency, and that smaller dynamic island. Most other changes are incremental upgrades rather than revolutionary features. And Mark Gurman suggests this approach makes sense because Apple wants all attention on their foldable device. It is similar to how they handled the first iPhone launch: keep existing products stable while introducing something completely new. The iPhone 18 launch is expected in September 2026, with devices hitting stores in early October. That gives Apple plenty of time to work out any manufacturing issues and build up inventory. For most people, the decision will come down to whether you want the latest iPhone improvements or if you're willing to wait for the foldable. The iPhone 18 will be a solid, reliable upgrade with better cameras, longer battery life, and improved performance. The foldable will be exciting and new, but it might have first-generation quirks and a higher price tag. What do you think about these rumors? Are you excited about the camera improvements, or is that foldable iPhone more interesting to you? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to stay updated on all the latest iPhone 18 news and rumors, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I will be covering every leak, rumor, and official announcement as we get closer to the September 2026 launch. You can also follow me on social media for behind-the-scenes content and breaking news that does not make it into videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.